How are you?
Good.
What was that, Kevin or me?
You opened a can?
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, like right by the microphone.
I was like, whew.
That's why when we're on the show, I'll hit mute when I do that. I try and remember to hit mute.
I should do like ASMR. Could you hear that really good?
Yeah, a little bit.
We've got to get into doing that. God, this whole fucking mic.
Here you go, Jeff.
Now.
Jeff.
It was all the way over there. First off, Shell did. But
Yes.
we should try to do just like one thing where it's like,
that's
Mike.
on the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna open my cigar now.
Right now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut.
That I think that the
Kevin,
Yeah.
cutting does not mean talking. Hold on.
I think the number one YouTube video on cigars is still that girl that did the ASMR. I think she still has, if I remember right, it's been a while since I looked, but she had like over 1 million views, like cutting, lighting, smoking a cigar.
Yeah, but somebody could click on it and not watch the whole thing. So it's how many minutes were actually. So somebody viewed it, but doesn't mean they watched it. That's the difference too. Because it's, especially when the fact that ASMR is like blown up because of TikTok, like I wonder how many times people have clicked and was like, "What the hell is this shit?"
Jen's got some Wayne's World hair going on there today.
Yeah. Wayne's World. I love Wayne's World. I love it.
I'm gonna wear them for bed.
Today.
I have a hair stylist appointment on Saturday. Need to get.
I was gonna say your hair looks like it's growing out.
Yeah, I'm due for a cut on Saturday.
Party on, Wayne.
Yeah,
I love that because I love those movies. I love Wayne's World. Wayne's World.
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna take my drink now.
I was just listening to the interview with Conan O'Brien when he was writing for Saturday Night Live, and Mike Myers came to him with like that skit. And he's like, "No, man, don't put that in. That's not good. Like, don't submit that." And he did. And then obviously we know where it went. And then Conan goes, "My track record of giving advice is pretty bad." He goes, "If I tell you not to do something,
do it.
There's a good chance that you should just do it." I'm horrible at giving advice.
That's great. Yeah, Conan O'Brien's pretty funny.
Oh, yeah.
We talked about those days.
Oh yeah, just writing for The Simpsons back in the day, and then getting cut from that show and taking whatever he took over for Leno or whatever, and they had to write him an ungodly amount of money to get him out of his contract.
Oh really? Wow.
Oh yeah. So
Conan's a pretty talented guy. He did a lot of work prior to his talk show.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Spent writing and doing voiceovers for 20 years.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Crazy.
Yeah, for his big break. But he's I love watching him and Bill Burr interact.
Oh yeah,
you get guys like Bill Burr and guy who just died. What's his name? Talks like this. Saturday Night Live. Norm Macdonald.
Norm Macdonald.
That was a while ago.
Yeah, Norm Macdonald and Bill Burr can make Conan O'Brien like genuinely belly laugh.
Just Norm Macdonald, because if you've ever watched there's one that he was on.
Why are you yelling?
I feel like the microphone's far away.
You yell
it's
loud.
like on Leno or something. He sets up this joke. He's telling this joke, and it goes on. And it was like an episode of Family Guy where he just it just goes on forever, and then he gets to the punchline and it's dumb.
Yeah.
But you just sat through this 8-minute fucking story about nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing.
Right now.
Yeah.
What we're doing right now.
Exactly.
The punchline fails, and then you're just crying because it's Norm.
Yeah, because the journey's funnier than the punchline. He tells a story about a lightning bug or moth, and it's like this long, like you said, drawn out freaking story about a moth and the end of punchline. You're dying up to the point where you deliver the punchline. You're like, that's so freaking stupid. It's funny.
Yeah. Oh yeah. God, I miss Norm Macdonald. It was his special on the.
Introduce yourself.
Oh, all right.
Jesus.
But hold on. Norm does the old, hey, my wife's in a coma this weekend. Yeah. And the doctor said, you know what can wake her is oral sex. And I came running out. I said, Doc, she's choking.
Yeah. I remember that one.
Oh my God.
On that note, I'm Broadleaf Bully Kevin.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Jess.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Kerr.
I'm Broadleaf Bully Jen.
And we are
The
Broadleaf
Bullies.
We talk. You listen. We're the Broadleaf Bullies. And here's your hosts, Kev, Kerr, Jessie, and Jen.
Yeah.
Why are we flipped?
she's-
Why are we on the right side?
She's choking, Doc. Like, because I didn't give her the oral sex. I was giving it to her.
That's fucking Norm though.
Where's Cigarprop?
There you
There
go.
we go. Thank you.
Now I'm Jen.
I loved it when he had
Oh my
the sports show, and then he had the segment like wait, what?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
He'd have the guys reading the jokes, and they're just like the worst, horribly inappropriate jokes coming out of the mouth of these people. Just like, you got to be kidding me, man.
Oh my god.
So, how was your weekend?
Is it the weekend? They all
Today's
the
Sunday.
days just run together now. It's just one day after another. Nothing distinguishes one day from the next anymore. It's Groundhog Day.
I'm sorry I asked. Jesus.
Yeah. I mean, it's been
Every day just runs into one long, horrific, boring day.
I know. I mean, we're going on
Make
6
sure
months.
you
Well,
download this show.
For me, it's been going on. I mean, obviously, I was taking him to his therapy and stuff, but I was still working at the time. And then, so now since April 2nd or whatever, it has been Groundhog's Day for me.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been 6 months of just doing nothing for me,
Wow.
and I still
6
can't,
months already.
almost 6 months. Still can't bend my knee for shit. You
I'm
know?
You
going
are
tired.
so dramatic. You literally are bending way more.
Yeah,
I don't know where you expect that you should be at, considering it. Like you,
I should be able to
moved it.
bend at 90 degrees on my own, and I can't.
For the
That
long,
is
for how
not
long?
what the doctor said.
No, what?
That is
For how
not
long
what the
you've
doctor
been
said.
injured and been going
Yeah.
through this, you should be fucking definitely. If you had surgery, you'd be freaking bending it by 9 degrees. With all the therapy,
yeah.
you'd definitely be doing it. All the dicking around that they've done with you and shit like that. If you want to cut this out, I realize I don't want to be
No.
on a witness stand.
Yeah,
But with sustaining knee injuries and all sorts of shit, there's no reason why you should not be
That's not
where
what the
you should be.
The doctor said he's exactly where he thought he would be.
yeah. After this procedure,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
leading up
That's
to that.
what
But
I'm
yeah.
talking about.
but yeah, he was shocked after I saw him for the first time after 4 weeks of being
Well,
injured.
right, but that
Yeah.
was the whole point, was
Yeah.
that you had laid there for
Yeah.
24 days
Yeah.
before you even had an
Yeah.
MRI. So that's what I'm saying. The damage was done then.
Yeah.
And that's
Period.
the frustration
Yeah.
of
Right.
knowing that you should be well off. I mean, accepting that you're where you should be post treatment or that procedure, but where you really should be is the frustrating
Right. I
part.
agree with that, but I'm saying as of right now
Yeah.
from that procedure, he's where he should be. You don't get to manipulate the truth a little bit there. Like after this procedure, you are where he.
Oh, I
expected
understood
you
where
to
I
be.
understand
Yeah.
what you meant.
I thought he
yeah.
was trying to make it
No,
like
You
it
know, and
should
even
be
the physical
now.
therapist when he, the other day, after it was
He's
a pretty,
also trying to
it-
get you to stay out of your head.
it was a pretty brutal session, and he said, he goes, "I'll tell you what, they can't say that you're not trying, So
right. Listen,
it was,
it's
Yeah, but I think I think some of it too is like what your daughter said too. She just thinks that sometimes you have your own mental block.
yeah, it's not that, It's just when you bend your knee and then you feel all of the muscles in those rubber bands instantly lock up, and the pain shoots up your thigh into your spine and into your brain. It's not.
I understand that. No one's disputing that.
Yeah.
But like, that's what Amber was trying to say, and what the therapist was trying to say was, do you need to be on some other type of like pain regimen or something? Because clearly pain is a deterrent for you. Like for some people, even though it is super painful, they somehow find some weird inner shit to push through. I mean, there's people who literally like lose their legs and shit and have to learn how to walk again, you know? And I just don't know what kind of pain management.
Let's cut your leg off, Kevin.
Yeah.
No, I'm just saying, like Amber, what, like your daughter, she is getting upset with me because Amber mentioned
I'm not,
it.
you know, it just, I don't know. It's just to me personally, it's frustrating for anybody to say anything about without knowing like what's going on. I mean, like the searing pain, you know, it just, and they'd be like, well, maybe we should be on pain management or push past that.
I didn't say that. I know. Saying what Amber said and what the therapist said was that they thought it was a little bit like, are you staying in your head? Because people can do that. You act like that's not a possibility.
It's not.
Okay, I was just saying.
We'll get you a prescription. We'll get you a prescription.
He's crazy.
We'll get you some prescription for dirt. Just rub some dirt on it.
Yeah, just rub some. Have you tried walking it off? Huh? I have not.
No, but you have talked about going to the chiropractor, but then have you called them?
Yeah, no, I need to. We both need to.
I got to tell you something.
Chiropractor's not happening.
Some of the worst pain I've ever had, and I know you've done too, is going to physical therapy and the heating, the stretching, and
they don't even do that.
When you say it's, you know, you got to get out of your own head. The problem is that all the pain, everything gets processed through your head, and it's fucking.
It's how much can you endure in that session?
And it's like
right.
I can tell you, man. When I was going through therapy with my shoulder, it was horrific.
Well, the first thing that they do with him is excruciating. Like, it's like. The first thing, as soon as he walks in, it's like the one thing that they do. It's like it sets the tone for the whole fucking therapy session for him. I feel like because it hurts him.
Maybe the therapist needs to mix it up a little bit. Not Kevin's head. Maybe to mix it up.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
Yeah, they put me on the edge of the.
We have some cocktails first.
Yeah.
Well, what?
Yeah, they strap a 7-pound weight on my ankle.
Oh,
and then
that's
wonderful. And then put a solid styrofoam block under my thigh, and then it just forces you to bend in a 90-degree weather. And they know I have no muscle tone, so I can't even do a leg lift with 7 pounds. So there's nothing I can do.
I think that's like a torture. I was gonna say I think the CIA uses that for information.
I think that was in. What were we talking about last night?
I don't know.
The documentary from the 80s, Death, Faces of Death.
Faces of Death.
That was a Faces of Death.
Ah, those were great movies.
Yeah.
We were talking about that last night.
Then he goes on a treadmill, and then he goes on this thing that's like sways back and forth, and then he goes on this vibrating thing, and then he does these leg stretches with
then he has a
therapist.
Yeah,
but they don't put him on the bike anymore.
Can you pre-med with, like, do you take any pain meds? No.
What 1 hour before I go in, because I wake up in the morning and then usually have some breakfast, and then I take a pain med a pill, and then I do some pre-stretching here just because it's fucking early in the morning, so I'm just trying to get the muscles warmed up. So I take an hour.
And like
before.
let's be realistic too. You were active as a mechanic, but you weren't active of like, hey, I like to take jogs and run and lift weights and be a muscular person prior. I mean, what you did in your work is your routine. Like you obviously have muscle from that. But like these are things that they're doing that Kevin doesn't walk like far to anywheres. Like he's not like strolling down the neighborhood taking walks. So like he's on this treadmill for like 10-12 minutes.
10 minutes forward and 10 minutes backwards.
And I'm like, this fucking that's not doing anything for him.
Imagine having very little muscle tone and then it's atrophied.
I know.
Yeah.
So I don't know, when they put you on that treadmill, I'm like, what's the treadmill doing? Like, what is this doing?
Well, it is
Working the joint.
It's working the joint.
I get that.
and
And
then
they have him sitting on a
mobility of it.
chair going
Well,
backwards and forwards.
It's a different motion now.
Yeah, it's when you get on a treadmill like that, it's getting the motion of the knee, especially running and strengthen it, because that's why they have you do it forwards and backwards, because you're using different muscles in different orders. And the other thing is, I want to answer your question a little bit more, Jess. You asked the question, I'm gonna answer it. So that's it. The other thing too is, because there is atrophy, it does build up the muscles as well. So all that is important. That's the reason why when you're walking normal, you're using more of your quadricep. And then when you walk backwards, it's using more of your hamstrings and behind. So it's strengthening all the muscle groups around that area.
I understood. But I'm wondering, though, are you now trying to walk a little bit different or not put pressure on your knee when you're on the treadmill? Like, are you hurting your body more?
No, walking on the treadmill, especially backwards, actually is teaching me how to walk again. Because walking backwards is the only way I walk normal.
It probably feels good, doesn't it?
It does feel good, you know. And so, like, walking around the house, I cannot walk like a normal person because, like I said, it's, you know, like I said, I have no strength in my hip, you know, and you end up walking with a limp, you know, and that's what I'm doing now, and I still can't bend. But walking backwards actually walks, my knee flexes like it's supposed to.
You should. Then we should be trying to walk backwards
a bit more. Hey, Kevin, can you go get me a drink? Sure, Jess.
Yeah,
he should. You know,
well,
walking backwards also stimulates your brain.
It is, yeah. It's really different, because even when I went through therapy, when I had my knee scoped, then when I went out in the field, we ran forward, backward, and I even did laterals, and that was actually because of the way that your ligaments stabilize. And I've had sprained injuries. The stability of the knee is the lateral is what really hurts the fucking most.
Yeah.
Is to be able to freaking shuffle and then also cross your legs laterally. That's the most painful. Backwards is the least. It's just, and then running forward, obviously, with pushing off and needing the stability versus going back and accepting your weight.
So that's where I'm having the problem, is pushing off, because there's, like, on the side of the knee, like right where the bone is. So going forward, pushing off, it's like stabbing an ice pick every time. Every time you bend forward to put weight on it, it just stabs it. But going backwards, that weight's not on the front of the knee, you know, so which makes it nicer.
Does the pain pill even help?
Sure, it helps a little bit, but the pain's so intense, it's not going to block it.
Yeah. Instead of it being a 12, it's an 8.
Yeah.
You know, it definitely dulls the pain, or the pain would come on earlier. So there's, you know, it definitely helps out.
Have you tried it without the pain pill?
No.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
Yeah.
I think I told you before. I remember after my shoulder surgery, I had still had some effects from the drugs because I had to stay overnight. So when I got home, I'm like, yeah, I'm going to go to a party. My dad's like, are you sure? I'm like, yeah. I said, I actually feel pretty good. I'm Mr. Tough Guy, 20 years old. I'm, you know, just had my shoulder, an inch of my collarbone cut out. And I'm like, I go to the party, and I'm sitting there talking to my buddy, and it was like the pain meds wore off that I had from the hospital at an instant. My knees buckled. That's how much pain I was in. And I just looked at him. I'm like, you got to take me home, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I almost threw up. And when he got me home, I just popped pills and just sat there in the chair for a week, because it was that, I didn't think it was going to be that bad, but it was some of the worst. I never had knee buckling pain like that. It made me almost vomit.
I vomited from pain.
I know you did.
It sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Horrible.
Yeah, Jen's vomited a few times. I've seen her vomit from pain and all sorts of good stuff. Never drunk. Only pain induced. And
probably because I don't drink.
And sepsis. You know, minor case of sepsis.
Minor case.
Just that's it. That's it. And then Jen this weekend, fucking, I gotta tell you.
Oh, should I go get them? I'm wearing them tonight. I had to give my hands a break. They're really starting.
Fucking get them.
Okay.
What's going on?
Well, a good buddy of mine came to visit this weekend from back home. He lived with us for a year, and it was nice seeing him. And then when they went back, and I was laughing because Troy's like 6'2", 280. He's a big dude, always has been. Everything's rented out here in Greenville, so they rented an Airbnb, and he got a freaking little house. Small.
A
tiny house.
A tiny home. Cool.
And he had to like go up a ladder to sleep in a bed. I'm just like,
was he literally like the size of it, like as tall as a tiny house?
His wife was laughing at him, and I was just like, Troy. So when they went back to the tiny house to get ready, we went over to Modern Cigar and saw Dr. Rodriguez, which I was going to ask you what you're smoking. I'm actually smoking a 6x60. This is using some of his newer tobacco. This is a new blend. What are you guys smoking?
I'm smoking something from Amendola.
I forget
that was
what
all
the
that's
red
on
one.
it. I forget.
Yeah, I forget that. And I got a Protocol Bass Reeves.
How is that?
Great. That new Bass Reeves is fantastic.
That is really good.
I like everything Protocol. They don't have anything that I don't like. I think like they're maybe like their original blue. I don't smoke too much. But the Bass Reeves, man.
That's a good cigar.
A great cigar.
I thought their blues and their red were decent. I think it was. I think like you, Kevin. I think their blue I wasn't too impressed with. The gold that they came out with for Connecticut, I really liked that.
That was a great cigar.
Yeah. And it was
the green one, right?
What's that?
The green one.
They've had so many.
I have a green one.
Yeah, they had
identity theft or something like that.
Yeah, then they had Taser, and then they've had. I haven't had a bunch of their micro. They've done like micro blends, So,
but there are other ones that are all named after lawmen.
Yeah,
had all those are really good.
Yeah,
I thought that kind of had taken that core blue and red that put them on the map, and now they're off and doing.
Yeah, what was the other law? The guy,
shit.
Yeah, the original lawman one they did.
I can't remember. I had their stuff here. I had them on the show on my show a while back, and I had their stuff, and I can't think of it either. But good stuff.
Yeah, it's Sir
Robert Peel.
Sir Robert Peel.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
That was
Great.
a really good one.
Loved that cigar.
Fucking great cigar.
Yeah.
Sorry, but so this weekend, Jennifer has been complaining of getting just fluid in her hands from moving and all this shit. So
Not my ankles.
not her ankles, not her, just her fingers only. So she's like walking around with like this blue Coban on her fingers and looks ridiculous.
Like this
So-
is any better.
So today, we went to the store, and she had to get some compression gloves.
Oh, I bought my mom some compression gloves.
I bet you did.
I did.
And I'm sure other people's grandmas out there have them too. But now Jennifer has her Spider Woman cosplay gloves on. We just got to get the rest of the outfit. And
Can't get my earpiece.
that's because you're using the wrong one.
Am I?
Yeah, it's your fucking wrong ear. So she's like walking around the house with these.
Yeah.
They have the cooling fit features.
Yeah.
It has the.
looking like she
Is
just
it
got out of-
working?
I have no idea. I can't even get my engagement ring over my knuckle. My hands are that swollen. Not my ankles. I have no edema anywhere else.
Just
and
in
I've
your
been
hands.
losing weight, but ever since we started moving, lifting boxes, mowing the lawn, doing yard work, my hands are just like I can't bend my fingers completely.
You're just
Have to try compression. Like, what else do you do? I'm not going to take a diuretic or a water pill because it's just my hands.
So now she walks around looking like she just.
Well, it looks like Andrew Dice Clay.
That's funny.
Yeah, like they should come in colors or something.
That's what she's.
so
Can I get
funny.
different colors? I said, listen. I go honestly. I'm going by Pandora's box. I'm going to get some lace slip all overs because you walking around like that. I'm not going to make it look like you're walking around town with your 9-round freaking kickboxing freaking workout gloves on. So
who cares what other people think? Whatever.
That's what I don't care. I went into Smoothie King and Jersey Mike's with them on.
Yeah, she did.
But you're supposed to sleep with them on. They say to keep them on for 8 hours at a time, and nighttime is the best. So I figured I'll give it a couple days and try because it doesn't feel like it's arthritis because I'm not having a lot of pain. It's just the swelling.
I can't wait to cuddle with Jennifer and her Joe Weider weight gloves and
scratching his back.
Oh my god! So on moving, are you guys? How's the other house coming? Are you painted?
It's done. Yeah,
painted, cleaned. Everything's
done.
Yeah,
yeah.
clean.
I just have to bring the keys in. So
okay,
that'll be done on the 29th.
Not too happy with the cleaning job that was done on it.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Yeah, because the person that did the cleaning was less than what we were quoted before with other professional cleaners, and there's a reason why professional cleaners will quote you X amount a move out clean because they do a fucking move out clean.
Yeah.
This was you might be moving out clean. And it
got severely discounted in price.
And it was like, we showed up and the agent was showing the house. He was like, "Hey, you're going to clean your kitchen or your refrigerator." So we go in there, refrigerator's fucking filthy.
The top, inside, nothing was touched.
So we cleaned out the refrigerator. Jen messaged her. She's like, "I'm sorry, I'll knock so much off of it." Great. I go over to the freaking stove and I'm like, Jen goes, "Well, it is really hard." I said, No. I said,
yeah,
if I can do that, you can't sit there and sell me on the fact that it's hard to clean. So she came back and cleaned the freaking stove. And then when we went in there today, I was like, this is what a fucking clean stove looks like. Upstairs,
I don't understand.
washer and dryer, fucking disgusting, filthy.
Well, what did they do?
I think they did the bare minimum because I even showed Jen today that there were some spots on the wall, the floor. I'm like, you know what? I'll say it. I don't give a shit. There's just some people in this fucking world that they want to do cleaning, right?
Yes.
And they'll come in and they'll do their first job really, really fucking well. And then when you get them to come back, then they just are like, you know what? I'm going to take my fucking X amount of money, my $500, $200, $600. I'm going to do the bare minimum. I'm going to skate. They won't know the difference. And I think that's what happened here. I had a vibe from the beginning. Just me. Jennifer feels differently. I had a vibe from the beginning. And then when I walked in there on the initial clean, I was like, this is not a fucking move out freaking clean job.
I would have been there before they left and been like, no, you're not done. Or you're coming back, or you're not getting paid.
Jess would have been in the garage watching them the whole time.
No, that's bullshit.
Didn't have time for
but normally, we were just working.
I know.
But I was not happy with anything that was done. I mean,
so basically, she did some dusting and maybe vacuumed a little bit.
No, she basically they probably they wiped down some of the baseboards, cleaned out the cabinets. Probably they mopped the floor very lazily because I was looking on the floor and I could see the fucking mop line.
He was on the floor looking across the floor.
I mean, listen, once you fuck up in one area, two areas, I had to clean the fucking washer and dryer area. I was not.
She admitted that she normally doesn't clean the washer and dryer area.
It's called a fucking move out.
But she didn't do the stove or the refrigerator.
Well, her assistant supposedly did the kitchen, and she didn't check it over
above the doorways and shit. And I was like, you know what? She cleaned the bathrooms, she cleaned the kitchen, and they fucking did the floors, and they probably ran a fucking dust rag over the fans and shit, fan blades. I was like, I could have done the same thing. This shit. I should have came in here and been like, motherfucking floors are fucking shiny, sparkling, smells like someone was here and cleaned. I was not happy at all about it.
Yeah, sounds like they don't have a punch out list. Like
yes,
this
that's what it was.
It's just what needs to be done. I
guarantee you what Kerr said originally was the correct response.
There's so many people like that. It was like freaking, hey, I do this on the side so I can make extra money. Okay, I'm not going to help anybody out. Come on over. Oh, this is a really good job. Can you come every Tuesday? Yeah, okay. First Tuesday's good. Second Tuesday, hey, you missed something. Oh, I'm sorry. I'll get that.
Kind of like making cigars.
Well, it's interesting because I used to clean for my mom's friend Jean a lot. Like I cleaned for her all the time. While I was still, when I first started working for Goodwill, I couldn't clean for her one weekend and she really needed something done. I can't remember what it was for, but whatever. One of my coworkers at Goodwill, I said, hey, do you want to make some money? You can go clean. Well, of course, I told Jean, I was like, look, I'm going to send her over there to clean. She was like, don't ever send her again. She was terrible. And I was like, oh my God. But I was cleaning from the time Graham was, I would bring him, put him in a playpen, and I would clean people's houses and stuff. I would do all that. And then when I
don't like to clean. I'll do it. I just prefer not to. And I hate bathrooms.
I always did that as a side job for years. And there's no way I was leaving there not feeling like I did a good job for those people.
Exactly. If you're going to do a job like that, you're going to get paid. You want to, you take pride in what you're doing.
Yeah.
And, when I start hearing, well, my assistant, didn't
but your house wasn't like one of those houses where it was like you had to wear a hazmat suit and stuff. I mean, it was fair.
I pre-clean.
What that's what I'm saying. Like, what could they have possibly? It wouldn't have taken them that long. It's empty. It would have been so easy for them to get so much done.
It was really like it was.
They just did nothing.
We're done with the house. We actually we have to pay for garbage now since we don't have city garbage, and they only allow one can, and we seem to have an exuberant amount of trash. We are very wasteful people, so we just brought a couple bags down to the Greenville house because we could put as much as we want out, and the garbage men just toss it in the truck.
You're only allowed one. Is it a big can?
Normal can.
Normal can. I'm actually going to call them tomorrow and be like, hey, how much more is it every quarter for a second freaking can?
We talked about this before, and there's a couple of different companies in the area, and we got to shop around a little bit. It was really we had to sign somebody up to get rid of trash immediately, and this was just kind of like the quick fix, but we can always shift.
Yeah, because we got like the big cans, like the claw drags.
Yeah,
okay, so it's not like the old fashioned.
No, it's not an old aluminum can with
it's like
we're not in the 70s.
Yeah, Kev.
Can you guys take your trash to a dump?
Okay. We could. We send young Joe to the dump with our cardboard.
There's a dump loves here.
Oh, they don't recycle. That's why they can't fit in the one can. It just crossed my mind.
Yes, it's all the cans and bottles that of us drinkers filling up our garbage can.
If we didn't recycle, we would have.
Didn't recycle, forget it. We'd be taking and throwing garbage in our neighbors' garbage cans.
I don't think
it's cans and bottles.
It really is
paper.
Well, it's usually never cans. It's always the cardboard and paper that.
We have obviously a lot of cardboard, so we send Joe to the dump, which we
recycled that at the old house. They just basically we had to break down the boxes and they take it away.
Yeah.
It's the cans and stuff like that, and I don't know. I don't think that with our trash, it's really a lot of cans because we don't drink a lot. And maybe the bottled water is probably the ones that probably make up a lot of
it. But Boylan, I found their black cherry is phenomenal. So we're having more like glass soda bottles
that you could still recycle. That's not a defense, Jack.
I wish it was 5 cents a bottle. That'd be nice.
No, it's just.
Oh wait, there is a refund.
Yes, there is.
It's not for South Carolina.
No,
though.
Probably not.
Yeah.
Delaware, Massachusetts, and a whole bunch of other states.
10 cents for Michigan.
Yeah.
Woo-hoo.
So I mean, it's just now we have to get a company, hire a company to come out. Where before it was the city.
Yeah.
And those guys just grab shit and throw it in there.
They don't
care. They don't care. They don't give a fuck.
No. One day he was bitching at me about the cardboard, and I was like, "It says fucking break it down." Well, what we got to do now is we got to pick it up. We got to put it in here and dump it in there. I'm like, I see motherfuckers with boxes. They just throw their boxes out. They don't break it down. We at least break it down.
Yeah, when I lived in North Carolina, you had to take all your recycling and trash to the dump. There was no pickup at all.
Yeah, but Butch, where he lived, he didn't have to take it to the dump. They had to go like a mile away, and they had like a communal.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, is that okay?
Well, but they have
Delaware's
but they also have but you have different ones, one for cardboard, one for glass, and then you had one for trash, but then you could take it to the dump, which I wasn't that far, so it's the same concept. But nobody got pickup. It was all you had to take your own.
if you didn't recycle your bottles and take them back and get money for them, in Delaware there was like in Dover there were certain parking lots, and they'd have a real big white dome for clear bottles, a green dome for green bottles, a brown dome for brown bottles, and then something for cardboard and newspaper. And you just drove up to that and just dumped all your
and people think, oh, it's okay to put all cardboard products in recycling. It's not, because if it's contaminated with food, they don't want that. So if you have a pizza box, throw that away. That's actual trash because it has food product on it.
See, that's a lot of rules.
Yeah.
Well,
in North Carolina, they're really anal retentive.
Our city
about
now
how
lets us
recycle.
put food boxes, pizza boxes in with our regular cardboard. But mainly because half the cardboard in Sarasota County ends up in the dump. They can't recycle it fast enough and make any money at it. So a lot of it's ending up in the dump because it gets to the point it piles up. They can't sell it. So they need the room. So they just send it to the dump. They just throw it away.
Maybe we should start recycling them and making cigar boxes out of it.
No. If we didn't have all the covered woods, we had like an open area, I'd get a burn barrel.
Yeah, burn.
Yeah.
Do you have to have a permit for that?
No,
that's good.
No. My dad did that when we lived in Lebanon. We actually had about a half an acre, and at the very back where the wood started, we had a burn pit and a burn barrel, and you just kind of.
Well, I just know in North Carolina, you're only allowed to burn certain times of the year. So, and here in Florida, you're not allowed to burn at all, I don't think, right?
Well, you got to watch the fire rate.
You got to watch I'm definitely sure that as time goes by and that you're more susceptible to dry times that they got to be more controlled than that. It's not like back in the day where it was like, just throw some cans in there, they'll melt.
Well, right, and that's just it. Like, what are you burning? It can't obviously be toxic.
Yeah.
Well, people do anyways. I mean,
you got that new company out in Louisiana that's recycling, because a lot of glass can't be recycled. I always thought all glass could be recycled. So some can't be recycled, some can't be mixed, and they're turning it back into sand. And they're actually taking it out but they have to have a permit to take the sand back out to the beach. And put
that's
it on,
crazy.
put it on the beach or dump it in the water. And they say that's like the biggest hurdle right now is whenever they get so much of it, then they got to go apply for a permit to take the sand back out to the beach.
Huh. Well, why can't that sand be used in other things? Like,
I don't
just
know.
Curious.
Yeah, I don't know. They're just recycling the glass bottles.
Well, that makes sense, especially if they're trying to rebuild like erosion on
that's what I was going to say.
Or the really beachheads and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's actually a really cool concept.
Make sandbags for flood
area.
Yeah.
There you go.
Great news. Our fridge is finally en route and will be here Tuesday.
Oh.
Yeah.
Finally.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I know. Watch it. If it doesn't fit in that space, you're going to make it fit in that space. Take down the crown molding. I don't care.
I had to do that with ours. We got the new fridge in, and I had measured wrong and it didn't fit. So I had to actually remove an entire cabinet.
That's how we ended up with the cabinet.
Yeah, cut part of the other cabinet. Luckily, it was like this board that separated two cabinets. So I had to cut it in half and then slide it in. And
I don't care.
You measured.
I better come home from work Tuesday and be able to say,
I got
it looks beautiful.
Tuesday, so if it shows up in the morning, it's not my problem.
Joe is going to say he's 18 and receive it because it is coming
they're not going to question him. They're not going to question him. But it's funny.
You're going to leave Joe in charge of.
I don't care who's in charge. We'll put a hat on Cooper and a trench coat, and he'll just be really hairy. Someone is receiving that fridge because I can't take off of work. I have someone off.
Are they installing it, or are they just?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
So you're talking about the fridge that we have now.
Yeah.
That didn't fit. Well, because when we built the bump out, we had to make sure, like, you measured.
Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
we were like,
this
doesn't fit.
Like
in
a year
space.
later, I decided to move it and build a whole nother cabinet for it, and boy, I just barely measured that fucking right. I am not good. I mean, we're sliding it in, and there is no room on either side. It is. I know. I could have made this bump out a mile long. Didn't make any difference how big it was. We had plenty of room for it, and I made it the smallest space possible for this fridge. Oh my god!
You measured, so if it don't fit, you
That
got to
well, that
fit.
he did it, and he did it twice, and I was like, I don't
know.
understand.
Well, because
what's
I didn't
happening
take into consideration drywall, and I'm like,
Mm.
drywall's a half inch on either side. So
Jeez.
that
Well,
you know,
it is what it is.
yeah,
It
but
worked.
it fits.
I'll have to go in there and see how much cutting room I have.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just wondering if the crown molding that's
I
in
don't
the
know.
center.
You measured.
I use the dimensions that were given to me.
Well, even if they can't get it in, as long as it's in the kitchen, then it's good.
We'll get
So-
it fit.
Yeah. I'll
at
have
least-
it in the center of the freaking room. I don't
Yeah,
care.
at least on tile or whatnot, you can roll it around and
Well,
get
that's
it.
what we did.
Yeah.
We had it like in some weird part of like the house for a long time.
Oh yeah, we had it just
'Cause
plugged
we had
into
no
another
choice.
outlet.
We were like,
just didn't
"Meh."
have the water line hooked up to it. So
Yeah.
you got a water line already for the ice maker?
We do.
Is
We
it
have a
metal?
beverage center.
Is it metal or plastic?
Don't know. I would have to go look. Why?
Because they're not. They say they can't install plastic anymore. When they brought our fridge, I had the plastic line. All did it. Like we can't put that in. Like it's just against because in case
It breaks.
it breaks or leaks because we can't be. It has to be metal.
Yeah.
So I eventually did upgrade to an all metal line. You know,
So that was one of the things in my house in Pittsburgh. I woke up one morning, came downstairs, and it was a 2-story home with a full basement, and the laundry room was on the first floor in a small room behind the kitchen. I woke up one morning
I have to go look now.
to hearing running water, and I walked into the kitchen, and everything was just water everywhere, and it was the standard hose that was connected to the line and connected to the washing machine broke.
Oh, okay.
And they said that the insurance for about a half a freaking heartbeat tried to get me because we didn't have the braided, the metal hoses, that it was still the old original rubber hoses.
Yeah.
But if it would have been the braid, it would have been a lot stronger. But
now on the new hoses that they make now,
I don't know. I can't see it.
the like the connection where you screw it into the wall, and there's a one-way valve in there. So if the hose breaks and it feels that rush coming through, instantly snaps that valve shut.
Yeah, I wish I would have had that. We had like a foot of water in the basement. It was a horrible freaking thing.
So you couldn't tell what it was, Jen?
No, because I have my sunglasses on.
What were you looking for?
The valve on the floor, and then I have to move the mini fridge.
Yeah,
and Cooper's lying right there. So
it's a lot of freaking
just
obstacles.
way too much for this second.
Actually, Cooper's probably heavier to move than the fucking mini.
Yeah.
Because we're out here, he's lying like right there eating.
So waiting for the refrigerator. I got a doctor's appointment in the morning, so I'm hoping it's later. Then I got conference calls, so if they show up, there's conference.
They should be calling tomorrow with the window of time.
Yeah, that's what they did with ours, and then the dishwasher. They call like in the morning. Hey, we're
The dishwasher is going to be next to be replaced.
I thought you said the refrigerator was delivered Tuesday.
It is
Tuesday.
Oh, okay. Tomorrow's Monday.
Yes.
Yeah, they'll be calling tomorrow with the window.
Oh,
yeah.
gotcha.
So yeah,
I was like, I'm confused.
Yeah, and
I'm confused myself, Jess.
Okay.
Yeah, I know when they call her, and the window was pretty
I
tight.
live
It was like between 9 and like 10:15. Like we'll be out there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can see it. I have a tracking. They sent me the tracking.
If it's a window like that, and if I have a conference call, I have no problem. Joe, I can be there to answer questions. Shit, most of my conference calls I can usually at least hit mute and like break away from them.
Right.
But like tomorrow, I forgot to get blood last week because I had my colonoscopy on Friday. That was fun.
Thursday.
Thursday it was. Yeah, I thought it was Friday. Yeah, that's right. It wasn't. That was 24 hours of drinking
that stuff.
Miralax and Gatorade and laxatives and
The noise coming from the bathroom.
wow.
Quite forceful.
When I got to the clinic, I had already known that. All right, I'm feeling pretty good. I researched it. 6 foot, colon, holds between 1 and 4 pounds. Average weight loss is about 2.5, 2.8 pounds. I stood on the scale and I'm like, is this scale right? They're like, yeah. I go, can I stand on it again? I just want to make sure. So when I stood on the scale, I realized I lost 26 pounds since January.
Nice.
Wow.
Congrats. That's awesome.
How much since Wednesday?
I just
We haven't found her scale. I packed it.
Yeah, so I
clue
can't-
where it is.
I can't, but judging by the trips and the volume, I would probably have to say there was at least a good 2 pounds lost.
Yeah.
Because I don't eat a lot, and I don't
Right.
I eat, and it's just I knew it was probably a good 2 pounds, maybe 2.5 pounds. I could chalk up to the old freaking Miralax squirts.
So you're not like was it John Wayne? They said he died with 24 pounds of red meat in his large whatever it was.
I can't even
Elvis.
imagine.
Elvis died taking a shit.
Yeah.
He had freaking he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
And he was that constipated because he was taking opioids. He was that freaking that gooned up on the opioids and was not because it constipates you.
Oh yeah.
That freaking he used to drink codeine out of champagne glasses.
God, and that was probably like legit codeine back
Yeah.
then too. Yeah, not like the pussy stuff we get today.
That's why you saw Elvis towards the end of his life. His belly was all sticking out.
Yeah, he was so bloated.
Oh, is that what
That was just all compacted freaking waste.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
You
he died
think his
from-
doctors would
I'm just amazed that he lasted as long as he did.
Yeah.
That's a lot of damage that he was doing to himself.
I mean, just a lot of, and it was, the drinking.
And if you looked at him, like he always looked that oily and like it was coming back through his skin. He was sweating it through his skin.
Well, he was so freaking bloated and
I
fat.
know.
He was sweating because nothing was moving. I mean, when you take when you're taking freaking drugs like that, it just stops. It's a muscle relaxer.
Yeah.
And it stops the muscles in your stomach and your colon, and everything just freezes. And then
is that what it does? I didn't know. Okay.
Yep, peristalsis is the body's way of it's the muscle.
Isn't that why they gave you a laxative to take?
Well, no, the laxatives you have
stool softener.
Well, stool softener is what
they give you a
That's
stool softener because it's easier for it to pass through the bowels.
Mm-hmm.
But I sold Senecot S, and Senecot S is a stimulant. So Senecot actually stimulates peristalsis. So it allows you to continue to push. We used to call it push the mush. It's basically muscular waves that push the freaking shit through your colon and then eventually out. And you do, and your body will draw the fluid from that as well when you're on opioids. So you get hardened stool. So when you're constipated, sometimes it's really hard. It's because there's not enough fluid in the fecal matter. So you got to take a stool softener, which allows your body to draw more water into the waste, which allows it to be mushy and pass through. But you have to have something to counteract the opioids that are causing your colon to become relaxed. And that's why we always do laxative protocols when we talked about them in the hospital. It was always have a stimulant like Senecot S because it's a stimulant and a stool softener. So it makes the stool soft and it actually allows peristalsis to continue.
Was that your first colonoscopy?
Yes.
Now what do you get for 5 years or something?
10.
He goes 10 years.
Oh, 10?
That good.
Clean as a whistle.
Yeah, right on.
I have to have one at the end of the year because of family history.
Yeah.
He came out. He came over. He goes, "Hey, you're perfect."
Nice.
I was like,
Couple internal hemorrhoids, but
couple internal hemorrhoids. I said,
But you don't feel them.
that's my sister. That's my family.
Yeah.
But no, he said it was fine. He goes, unless you have family history and a problem, we'll see you in 10 years. I was like, all right, cool.
Wow.
So it wasn't bad at all. I fell sick with Pearl Jam.
I don't even know. Like, I guess I would have to ask my parents, but I don't know that there's anything on that side of my dad's side or anything.
I don't know. My Beth, my ex-wife Beth, she had to have them every year for like 5 or 7 years.
Why?
Because that's what her dad died of, and then when she was young, they found a couple polyps that they had to remove, and then she had to do it every year for, like I said, and then she got on to where it was okay. Now, like at the last visit, you got 5 years, because you've been good for 5 years, whatever it was.
I'll probably go with 5 years. My dad had some polyps, nothing real major, but we were just talking about this the other day. It's like, do you have a family history? And I'm like, my family doesn't talk about this stuff.
That's
doesn't tell you shit about your family.
Like my dad the other day when I was he goes, "How's your colonoscopy?" I said it was great. They said there's nothing wrong. Well, that's good. We have the family curse. I'm
I know.
What do you mean the family curse? Well, your aunt, blah 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 blah. And I'm like, okay, you knew I was going in for a colonoscopy.
Why didn't you?
And I'm 52 now. Not once has this been mentioned in the least bit until afterwards. They found XYZ and, oh, well, I'm not surprised because your aunt. Well, it would have been good information to know fucking earlier.
Yeah, maybe when I was 35. You know
what's weird though? But here's the thing though, when they ask you, oh, do you have this in your family history? Well, really, who knows that? Well, who's like, yes, we sit around as a family and discuss all this medical detail. Nobody does.
No, the only one I answer yes to, diabetes. My grandmother had diabetes.
Yeah, I mean,
so that was the only.
But I'm just saying,
that's the only one I know.
But the other stuff,
those are the obvious ones, right?
Yeah, right, high blood pressure, high cholesterol.
Yeah. Right, but who else is really paying attention, or who's sitting around having those conversations?
Yeah, like when you give blood too. Have you been around anybody in the past 30 days that has tested positive for, I call it Crutchfield-Jacobs disease. I forget how you actually pronounce it. And then,
that's pretty close.
It is.
Is it? Okay. But I'm like, I don't know. Like that's not what we talk about, Like what do you mean? Like, if I've been around anybody?
Yeah, I had a cigar with Crutchfield-Jacobs the other day.
I was reading Crutchfield with Jacob yesterday.
Yeah. But
I think that's a new protocol cigar, isn't it?
Crutchfield-Jacobs. Yeah.
I decided to get a stereo.
Well,
yeah.
What's crazy about that though is when you talk about your family history, like, does your family have a history of cancer? Yes. What kind?
Right.
Well, let's see. I've had grandparents, my mom and my aunts all die of cancer. They smoked cigarettes for 50 years. They worked in the mines. They worked in the coal mines. They worked freaking in the iron mines. Then they worked in the freaking train yard.
And then they died of consumption. That's all they called it. I don't know what that was.
It's like, well, do you think is a genetic predisposition? Well, I don't know. There's a lot of environmental factors there. I had an uncle that went through World War II, worked in the mines. He freaking chain smoked unfiltered Pall Mall and drank freaking a bottle of whiskey and a half a case of beer every day. Yeah, there was some heart disease and there was some lung disease and some liver disease. I have to imagine it might have been induced by those external factors.
Well, which is interesting because after I had COVID and went to my doctor, we did tons of blood work and he tested me for everything, and I don't have not one thing. Like, I don't have like high blood pressure. I don't have any of that. And like, but both my parents have like diabetes, high blood pressure, they have like all kinds of issues and stuff.
But didn't they smoke for like 30 years?
I mean, I'm just saying,
or
like,
shitty. It's like, you have cholesterol problems in your family? Yeah, you mean my dad, who every morning would pull out the freaking thing of lard.
Yeah.
Just, we fried eggs in lard. Everything was fried in lard.
My grandmother on her stove, and we used to visit as kids and just scoop it out and throw it in a big pan.
But it's interesting because like I was like expecting something. Like, at least, also I wasn't very kind to my body when I was in my 20s, So like, I'm sure there's going to be some that pops. Nothing. My sister, kind of the same thing, like doesn't have really any issues, and my brother, who absolutely abused his body, like very badly, went and had a whole entire physical, like not long ago, doesn't have a goddamn thing going on. And he literally, his body inside should be mush. Like, he should have no functioning organs left for his drinking issues that he had. I mean, he doesn't drink now. He's been probably sober for a year and a half now, almost a year and a half. But yeah, Like he did some damage to his body. Nothing.
Yeah.
Doesn't have anything.
Well, I know that
It's very weird.
When I went to the cardiologist and I had the calcium score, I had exactly, it was like just years of high cholesterol, and I should have been on cholesterol medicine years ago because my weight always goes up, down, up, down, and my cholesterol would go up and down a little bit, but it was always kind of high. You know, it was like freaking.
Yeah, it has to be like there's two sides where if it's not balanced on one, it could cause like this effect.
Well, yes, your LDL and your HDL, and then the buildup in your bless you in your arteries. You know, it's like the LDL is, if it's high, that's what's really bad.
Yeah,
you know, that because that is what causes the plaque buildup.
Right.
So tomorrow I got to get my blood taken tomorrow and see how my cholesterol is being, because I've been on medicine now for what? It's been several months, right?
Yeah, since April.
Yeah,
so.
That was the only thing, was mine was just a little bit off. They put me on medicine for a month, and then they took me off for a month and tested, and I was fine. I didn't need to be on the medicine. But there was something after COVID. I don't know what it did, but it was some cholesterol shit that I had to see why it wasn't balancing. But it was like so minimal, but he said, let's put you on the medicine and see what it does. And then after I got off of it, it still stayed the same. So he was like, it's fine. Yeah, but it was probably something to monitor.
I get to hear my doctor talk about cigars again on Tuesday.
Yeah.
So I think he's always amazed at my size and with the cholesterol and smoking cigars that my blood pressure is fucking perfect. He's always like, oh, your blood pressure. Like, I realize that I kind of fall in that category where you'd expect my blood pressure to be high, cholesterol to be high. I'm type 2 diabetic. I'm none of those things. I have high cholesterol and I'm a larger mammal. You know, it's just that's just me. And I smoke cigars.
What blood type are you?
Red.
Yeah. What a coincidence. Positive. Yeah.
I don't know.
Oh no, just because they also say like certain people's blood types also like play a part in some of their, like how much your cells regenerate and all this stuff and like what it does. And I just found that interesting. I was reading a whole article on that the other day.
Yeah, I got to get in for a. It's been 2 years since I've had a physical, so I need to get in for.
I just had one. I'm like, I just had one, so I'm good for a while.
Yeah, I've had.
I've had multiple physicals in the last 6 months, so I've had more physicals than I want to have probably for a long time. So I also have another mammogram, all that stuff. So I'm good for a while.
I think the only thing I could really go for is that maybe an endoscopy. Check out my stomach and everything.
Prostate exam.
Prostate. Check out my prostate.
Yeah.
But you know what, though?
But your PSA was normal.
Everything's normal on that, so there's really no reason to freaking be Dr. Jellyfinger. There isn't.
And
I don't think Dr. Bueller's in any freaking hurry to check my prostate. He's got short fingers.
When does one like go get a colonoscopy? At 50?
45.
45.
45. Oh shit, we got one more year.
They lowered it. 45 is when you should
go.
Yeah, they lowered it to 45.
That's when you should have your first baseline.
Yep.
Interesting. So Kevin's gonna line up for that.
On his 50th birthday, he's getting a scope done.
Listen, it's it was
colon cancer's very treatable.
It's very treatable, yeah. And if it's
if it's caught early, I know.
I freaking was in there. It
was fast.
The anesthetist was cool as shit. I knew the doctor because I called on him years ago, who was the gastro doc. They wheeled me back. I was laying there. They were playing Pearl Jam, and the guy said, "All right, what are you here? What's your name? What are you here for?" And I told him, "What's your birthday?" He goes, "All right, then." He goes, "Yeah, we're gonna be." And then the next day, it was like half an hour later, I wake up.
Yeah, I woke
and Jen's in there, and I'm still a little loopy. And then at that point, I kind of like, okay, I'm not loopy anymore.
Yeah.
I feel like I have a little buzz.
Right.
And I'm like, well, let me do the Jen's Jen's in freaking treating me like a patient mode.
Well, because he was very loopy. He wanted to get up and go to the bathroom, and he couldn't. And when you have a colonoscopy, they pump air and water into your intestines.
I didn't know what I could do. So I'm laying there on my side, and I'm like, I have to go to the bathroom. And she's like, you're too loopy. I go, listen, you understand something? Because I realized that doing the prep, if you feel like you have a fart, do not trust the fart.
Yeah.
Right? So, and I'm like, because I thank God the first time I was like, I think I got a fart. No, maybe not. And I went in, I was like, super soaker. So,
oh my gosh.
I'm laying there on my side, and the nurse comes in, and I'm like,
she was really nice.
And I said, I gotta go to the bathroom. She's like, well, there's a lot of air in there. I go, yes, but I'm sure there's. She goes, no, there's just a little bit of water. It's fine. Just let it out here. And I'm like, all right. And some water came out. I'm just like, now I'm just laying in freaking watery. It's not shit.
Fart water. Air
fart
water. Whatever.
No, they'd have been getting me up.
And then,
no, they won't. But they vacuum
like,
out your colon, so there's really not much in there. It's just all air that needs to be expelled.
I'm like, you motherfuckers asked for it. So I just sat there and just let them rip. And freaking, I'm like, and I look at Jen, I go, I feel it rolling down my butt cheeks.
Yeah.
You know? So then after that, I kind of get a little, I'm still a little buzzed, and I'm like talking to her. She's like, well, you're slurring your words. I'm like, I understand that, but I go, listen, stop fucking micromanaging me like some mom. I'm like, I'm hungry. I want to eat something. I haven't eaten in like 48 hours. And she goes, well, I'm just treating you like a patient. I'm like, well, don't. I'm not your patient. I just stop talking to me like, you know, it's like when people are like, are you well?
Yeah.
And you're going, yes, I am. But you're slurring, and I don't want you. I'm like, I know I'm slurring because they just dope me up, but I'm a little buzzed, but I'm okay. And when we got home, after like an hour or so, I was thinking to myself, like, I could drive right now if I wanted to.
Yeah,
I could. And it was, you know, knowing it felt like I had a couple of beers in me, and that was it.
Yeah. But liquid gold.
But then, you know, Jen was being very helpful and very, very kind.
Yes.
And then we're driving. I'm like, yo, Batman. Like, she's driving, we're like, and I'm like,
I'm avoiding their horrible mergers.
I'm
on
like,
the highway.
Where are you going in a fucking hurry?
I was just driving.
She's like, well, I'm going to stop at Chick-fil-A.
I want Chick-fil-A.
What are you hungry for?
I didn't have breakfast.
I'm like, I'd love to go to Strasner's. Well, you know, you're really loopy. I'm like, I'm still hungry, but you know, then why ask me where I want to go eat? Then just take me to fucking
because
Chick-fil-A.
they don't have like a drive-through. We weren't going to go somewhere to sit and eat.
Are you hungry? Yeah. What do you want to go eat? Strasner's. No.
To the guy that hasn't eaten in 2 days.
Yeah.
So I have a kid.
Tell me where we're gonna eat.
How do you feel like though, bathroom wise, like the next few days? I'm like, it's fine.
It was fine. It was back.
I was fine. It was back to normal.
Oh, okay.
Tell them about lunch. Tell them where we went for lunch. This is great.
So I eat some Chick-fil-A, just a little bit. I'm like, oh,
an egg white, you know,
egg white, freaking roll something simple, right? And we're here, and it's like, all right, let's go do some stuff. They're like, Joe, where do you want to go eat? He's like, let's go to Viva La Vida, the authentic Mexican place.
Joe wanted Mexican for lunch after his colonoscopy.
I can't go to Strasner's, which is your normal, like, I get myself maybe some chicken noodle soup.
Right.
A fucking tuna sandwich. Maybe
You're going to have some flaming hot tacos.
Yeah. No, I'm going to go to freaking...
Joe's like, I want Mexican.
He wants Mexican. So I'm like, you motherfuckers. So I eat Mexican.
Is his first
real solid meal.
You know, with a raw intestine. I'm sure your colon appreciated that.
Some residuals from the freaking 8,000 freaking ounces of Miralax I chugged the night before.
Yeah.
And then what was our second meal? Our second meal was something spicy.
No, I thought we had
No, you guys got something spicy.
We got sandwiches.
I don't know. The second meal was just like is equally like.
I thought we did Jersey Mike's.
You guys fucking kidding me? You guys are like, hey, Carrie, it's Kerr. He already had his colonoscopy. Let's go get some hot wings.
Well, the nurse even said, keep in mind you are 100% cleaned out. Whatever food you put in your stomach is what's going to be going through.
Yeah.
But I have to say, lunch was pretty delicious. You had,
of course, it's pretty delicious when you like Mexican food. You didn't freaking
it wasn't spicy what you had.
I know, because I tried to pick the least spiciest shit on the menu because I didn't have very many selections. I'm like,
but his belly was grumbling on the drive home.
I said, I will take a grilled fish taco on corn tortilla.
God, Kevin would be like, let's go eat a burrito, and then instantly regret that. He'd be like,
Joe's like,
not a good idea.
Salsa, some spicy salsa, some queso, some spices. I'm like, so after I eat, we get in the car, and it's like, because at this point, it's like it was like driving during COVID. There is nothing in front of you.
Yeah,
it was smooth sailing. So these freaking tilapia freaking tacos,
they were swimming downstream,
fucking rocketing through my freaking system, and they're going, that was pretty good. What did you think, Karen? I'm like, just get home.
What did we have? No, that was Tuesday.
Yeah, there's a new carnival in town. Would you like to go before we go home?
You want a good old greasy funnel cake and maybe get some freaking
fried Oreos
and some hot wings,
and then go on the Tilt-O-Whirl.
Oh my god, yeah, it was.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
I'm like, you guys really have no consideration for me, do you? Not even the least bit. Just let's go get some fucking taco Mexican. And then, of course, Joe, after talk about how much you want, he's like, oh, unless you don't want to carry. I was like, really?
Yeah.
That's funny.
Yeah. I never think ahead on food. I would have just devoured Mexican, and 15 minutes later, why didn't somebody say something?
No.
Yeah.
I when we
we drive by certain food trucks and stuff. I'm like, Kevin, why do you want to have just diarrhea all the time? He wants to eat certain foods that I'm just that's just diarrhea. You are eating that to have diarrhea.
Then she tells me to be adventurous on food, but then won't let me eat garbage.
Let me tell you,
there's a difference between
beyond fantastic.
Adventurous and just garbage food, Kevin.
You would have. I know, Kevin, you just eat food for the energy and fuel for your body.
And apparently,
you would have loved the huevo rancheros I had today. The tortilla stayed crispy the entire time. I did. I said
earlier. She's like, I had the
ranchero,
Von Herreros. I was like, one of the Spanish freaking thing turned German all of a sudden.
But it was
invented by Crutchfield Jacob. Nobody knows that.
Exactly. I have never had such an amazing breakfast or brunch. The flavor, the pork that was layered into it. So it was the crispy tortilla in the bottom that stayed crispy the entire time, which is pretty impressive. Then they had the black beans, like a pulled pork that was freaking melted in your mouth. And then 2 eggs perfectly fried. Holy. And then pickled jalapenos. Freaking so delicious that I had to get a side of their grilled toast.
The grilled toast is
I don't know what we asked the waitress, what do they do? Because just grilling the bread to toast it adds such a flavor that we cannot put our finger on it. So you guys have to come with us because I really need to know what the hell is with the
smoky.
toast.
It
was fantastic.
It honestly tasted like they put toast on a grill and then just put it over fire. Because it had
probably used something like liquid smoke or something.
It had a grilled smoky flavor to it. It was rye bread, so then the rye kind of
I mean they probably put it on a bun toaster that has open flame with little the moving rack. You put it on there
like Burger King.
It had grill.
Like Burger King. We have that little thing, but I was pretty. I mean, that was good.
Kerry had short ribs over cheesy.
Well, I'll let Jen tell you what I had. Go
ahead. Short ribs over cheesy grits.
Also, tell us how he liked it.
He had 2 fried eggs, but one of the eggs was a double yolk, so he technically had 3.
Oh,
it just had a little too many onions.
Yeah, it was really.
But it was good. It was. You can get over potatoes, but the cheese grits were really good.
Sorry, I gotta check this
Why?
because fucking Ronnie's messaging me. So
I couldn't find your GoFundMe.
It's not. I wanted to get into that too after you told them what you ate and then told them what I ate and then you told them how
Yeah,
I
I
liked it.
Googled GoFundMe and it wasn't on there, so I'm assuming it was just PayPal. So did you start like a Broadleaf Bullies?
But I wanted to tell them the thing about this bougie place, because when we walked in, I was like,
You've been there before.
I've been there before, but I was dressed like this, the hat, and I walk in, I'm like, I could have, I should have been back with the dishwasher because everybody else.
It doesn't matter. I had a hat on, t-shirt, shorts.
It literally was.
Food.
It would have been the same as it would have been going to Cracker Barrel or
Cost-wise.
okay,
or Waffle House. It wasn't like I rolled in and had to get.
it just looked fancy from like the pictures.
I didn't. We didn't get Huevos Von Trap.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely some church folks in there
for like $23 or $25. I mean, it wasn't anything like that,
No.
and it's all local stuff.
Yeah, and farm to table.
It's really, really good. And
Okay.
Had a cranberry mimosa. Oh, it was delicious.
Yeah, I think each dish was like $13-15, and that's exactly what we would pay
if
you rolled into Cracker Barrel or even Waffle House. I mean, Waffle House, if you get the whole freaking all-star breakfast, it's like $13.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever had a cranberry mimosa. That actually sounds.
It was delicious.
Good.
I had just one. You can get like a picture of them or whatever, and then I just had straight cranberry juice and a lot of ice. It was so smooth, and they have what's neat is a chalkboard on one of their walls, and it tells you what farms all the ingredients come from. So it's all from South Carolina or North Carolina.
Yeah,
just super fresh. I was really hoping I'd had room for dessert because they had a peach blackberry cobbler.
Oh, that was probably good.
But
it was fried pie.
There was definitely no room for that.
So Kevin, you're going to Vegas.
Yep. As of this morning, I'm going to PCA.
Jess, are you going?
Apparently, so you hopped on last night with Matt and Ronnie.
After Matt got off, he had to. They were on for probably an hour, and then he hopped off. He had things to do. Then Ronnie sent me the invite, and then we were just chatting and bullshitting. And then that's when he asked me if I was going to PCA, and I'm like, no, we really can't afford to go. And then I really can't, justify going, especially as media, spending the thousands of dollars, to go to that event, just to get some video and some photos, so
yeah.
I woke up this morning to a big long post that Ronnie posted on Facebook, God, tagging every manufacturer in the world.
Yeah.
And yeah, it worked. I mean, the money came, by 4 o'clock or so, 3 o'clock, whatever it was, we were fully paid for, flight, hotel, everything good to go. Got a couple dollars for some food.
Yeah, Chris asked me if you hit your goal. I don't know if he reached out to you or not.
Yeah. He kicked in some. I think Chris just put me over, that threshold.
Nice.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I was talking to him. I was like, Kevin, I said, he goes, did he hit his goal? I said, I'd throw him some extra money. He goes, let him go buy a souvenir.
Yeah.
I mean, we made a decision early on of like what events we were going to do. Like we knew ahead of time, like
you have to.
The barn smokers were the ones we were going to focus on, except for the Pennsylvania one, because we wanted to do the Red Meat Lovers Club for Evan. That we had been promoting it. It was a big thing that we really were into and wanted to do. The PCA just was kind of like a pipe dream. Like maybe at one point down the road we'll get there, right? Just not this year. Mm-hmm. And then so when Ronnie started saying all that stuff to Kevin and then Kevin's like, do you want to go? And I'm like, no. Yeah. Not because I don't want to go, just like that's a lot to ask of anyone. So the fact that Kevin gets to go, Kevin's worked hard. He deserves
Ronnie on our live last night, he was on his computer live, and I told him, I said, I can't even get in. I'm not even a member of the PCA. So he calls Juan Lopez from Gurkha on the phone, gets him live on the phone, video chat. Juan's at his dad's 70th birthday party. And he answered the phone, and he said that, and he goes, when Ronnie Haysha calls you, he goes, you just answer the phone, or he's just going to keep calling. You know, he just answer the first time. And then Ronnie goes, Juan, Kevin needs a ticket into the PCA. And Juan's like, don't worry about it. I got you.
Yeah.
So and then Juan reached out to me a couple hours later or whatnot, and he goes, all taken care of. You know, we'll have your ticket waiting for you. So
that's great, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, because of the short notice, I only have one day there, Saturday. You know, so I definitely
not even like you have that day to be at the PCA.
No, Saturday's the only day I have.
Yeah, at the PCA.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, like, you're not actually going to do anything in Vegas. That's it.
No, that's it. I just have one day at the
Yeah.
PCA. You know, they say it takes 3 days just to see everything. So I got to, you know, download like the vendor list, and I got to make sure, obviously, the people that helped me get there, you know, I got to go see them first.
Right.
Before I, you know, do anything else.
When is it?
Well, it's quick. Donate money so Kevin comes to South Carolina.
Yeah.
We will have a vendor table.
Yeah.
I put in $5, Kevin. I expect a freaking drive-by at least.
Yeah.
So it's July 8th.
So he did make accommodations
like
with the
2 weeks.
airport to get a wheelchair so he can get wheeled to his next flight right away. So at least he did that.
Yeah, because I only have a 35-minute layover in Atlanta. You know, which it's not bad. It's not bad if you're on Delta, because either two things: either the gate's going to be next to it, or the gate's 35 minutes away.
Right.
You know, so
and you know, you're coming.
So I did book for the one leg from Sarasota to Atlanta. I did book Delta Comfort, so I'm in the very first row after first class. So there's only
you'll be off the
so
plane.
there's only 5 rows in front of me to get me off the plane.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of room because I've had that seat on planes right behind first class, and it's like, boing.
Which is smart though, because that way you're getting off fast.
Yeah, and when I'm boarding the plane, I'll let them know. You know, I'm like, hey, you know, I said I only have 35 minutes to get to my connection.
I have one leg and 35 minutes.
And
Get
I'm getting
cart.
wheelchair assistance, so I
they'll have a wheelchair at the gate for me.
They should have one of those little freaking beep beep cars.
They should, but when we were in Atlanta last, we only saw one.
Yeah.
In the whole airport. Like I don't know if it's something they don't do anymore. Because I remember years ago, you'd be in an airport.
Well, they don't have staff. That's part of the problem. All these flights are getting delayed, not because of weather, because they still don't have employees.
Yeah.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, I was always getting that freaking horn beeped at me, freaking staff.
Yeah, they just don't have. I mean, I've literally heard so many people say that their flights have been delayed or canceled, and it's not because of weather. It is because they don't have the staff.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Just still don't have it, and people are wanting to travel, so it's fucking not a good time. Not a good time to get delayed. Yeah. But yeah, so
that's exciting, man. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks. It'll be. I think it'll be fun. It'll definitely be something. You know, maybe next year. You know, if you guys go next year, we can all, you know, at least go for, you know, 3 or 4 days and hang out instead of, you know, one.
We're going in January.
Yeah, part of me was a little disappointed, only because like we talked about doing Vegas together. Yeah. But it's like you know, it's good that he's going to do this. It's nice of Ronnie to orchestrate all of this.
Yeah, I talked to Chris about the PCA this year, and I have prior commitments, but we also talked about the strategy of the brand and stuff and what he wants to do. And next year is probably the year that PCA is a reality, and probably Intertabac in Germany.
So that would
really
be awesome. Yeah, that would be amazing.
Just because now we're in England and they just placed a pretty decent order with us. Now we're in several shops in the UK, and then being able to expand out into possibly into Germany and such. So, you know, as a brand owner and a manufacturer, whatever, more of a small brand owner, everyone wants to go. It's always like you have to. You're not going to go. That's crazy, but it's more than just going to the PCA. There's a lot that not only you've got to think about financially going out there, But you have to be pretty smart and find out where your brand is in its life cycle and what you can accommodate. So you may end up spending between getting a table and air tickets, your membership, everything, 15, 20 grand, right? So you're thinking that's 15, 20 grand I'm paying to go to Vegas. That's I could have used for my inventory, right? So now, but now you gotta get orders that are going to exceed what you've paid to go there. So now you not only have to spend that money to go there, you also have to have X amount of inventory, because I'm not Steve Sock. I can't say, hey, we'll get it to you in 6 months.
Yeah.
Right.
When they place an order, when you get back from PCA, you got to be shipping shit right away. So you got to have the inventory to fill orders and hope that you can fill the orders 25% over what you've paid. So if you paid 20 grand to go there, you better hope to have at least $23,000 worth of orders and have $23,000 worth of inventory for those new orders, and then have even more inventory for your current accounts. So when people say it's an $80,000 commitment, that's looking at everything from the freaking Uber ride from your house all the way to the freaking cigars that are being delivered.
Yeah.
And ordered.
Yeah. It should. I told Kevin, I said, it's definitely going to be an experience. And, in this way you can kind of come back and then make a game plan for the future.
Plus, and then as you guys know, we even went to Ebor, meeting the people that you see online, and that's part of it is just making those connections, so which will be nice. There's a lot of manufacturers I haven't met yet.
Yeah.
Really personally, cool. Like in real life. So
yeah, it's definitely going to be a lot.
Well, I'm excited for you too to be there for the Vice Versa to be launched, so you can start Portillo.
That'll be nice. It'll be it'll be sweet to be there and just talk to people and talk to Omar about it. And I've never met Omar, so it'll be super cool just to meet and hang out with him.
Be awesome.
So
exciting stuff. Yeah, it's because Chris and I talked about possibly just going just to go and be as a spectator or a retail or whatever, but I had too much going on. But to go there as a brand owner and expect to, and that's what you talked about Intertabac too. It's like if you spend money to go to Intertabac, and if you're not in X amount of countries and gimmick shops, it's a waste of money.
Right.
The money. You're just going to go. And you're going to be able to say I'm going, and you're going to be able to post, I'm going to be at table 118.
Yeah.
Right. It's not smart for some folks.
Oh yeah, and I know especially Intertabac, some manufacturers they use that as their vacation as well. It's like, all right, so I'm going to be, we're going to take the week and whatever, do that, and then I'm going to stay 2 more weeks, 3 more weeks, and just go through Europe and at least have a vacation.
Well, that's what because he's experienced. He's like, listen, man, when you go there, set up appointments with these international freaking brokers and stuff. He said, but you want to be able to also visit. If you have nowhere to visit when you're there too, he's like, it ends up just being like you said, hey, Jen and I are going to go to Intertabac. We're going to spend a week in Germany and hang out. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's what he said. If you go like PCA, if you go with the right mindset, it'll be very educational. I would love to go with you, Kevin, just hanging out, checking it out.
Oh yeah,
just to get a feel for it as the right mindset. But to try and go only 3 to 5 years into the industry and you're still growing, I mean, it could be a death sentence for you for some folks, especially if you get a lot of orders and you can't place the orders.
Yeah,
I mean, that's horrible. That's like my nightmare is to go there and be like, oh my God, we cleaned up. We signed up 80 new freaking shops and we don't have any inventory.
Right.
Yeah. And then how some of these manufacturers, I forget who we were talking to on the show, it's at his first PCA that, the first year in business, and he launches 8 new brands at PCA on his first time. I'm like, God, that's just mind boggling.
Yeah.
I don't know how people, I don't, if they come for money and then just to be able to
let's
get
see
in
if there's
and do
any
that.
controversy this year coming out of PCA like there was last year.
I
Sure, there's
know,
always
God.
going to be controversy.
We'll see.
I'm sure. I mean, there always is. I hope that they've learned from last year's,
Yeah.
either don't say anything or provide a great deal of context, if you're going to do or post or say anything.
Right.
But other than that, it's going to be a fun time, and
Yeah,
hopefully you
absolutely.
get to zip around pretty well, and
Yeah,
get to see some
you
folks.
should. You and Ronnie should get like little jazzies.
Yeah, Ronnie already said we are, and we're racing.
Yeah, you and Ronnie need jazzies to get around.
Ronnie needs Jazzy.
Well, he just had
Yeah.
his ACL,
Yeah.
right?
Oh, jeez.
Oh wow.
Surgery.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's they're maniacs right now. Like both of them, both of them injured legs.
That'd
They'll
be
be
funny.
hobbling
Oh, yeah.
around. God,
Just put a freaking camera on the front of the freaking.
I
Jazzy.
know. I was like, just beep,
Go
beep,
get your
horn.
GoPro, Kev, and just do
I
that.
know.
That's your freaking camera.
I thought about it. If I was for sure getting a Jazzy, I would definitely get the suction cup mount and just put it on the
Oh my gosh.
put it on the Jazzy. I thought about getting they have a mount that mounts on your
on your hat, yeah.
your headband or your hat. So I
Yeah.
thought about doing that on the GoPro.
You ever see that one guy who does all the trains, and he has the fish?
Oh,
lens?
the fisheye, yeah.
The fisheye, and then he gets his reaction for the trains. He has Asperger's or
Yeah.
autism, and he is legitly like the cutest guy ever. And he gets so excited over trains, and he films his reaction to the trains driving by.
Oh,
and
really? I
stuff.
don't think I've
Oh
seen
my
that.
god!
But he looks all weird
And-
because of the
And he's
fisheye.
like,
Fisheye, yeah.
and he's like,
Yeah.
"Ooh," and he makes these like awesome noises, and he gets so fucking excited. I love his videos. I don't know why, because he does show the train and everything, but
Yeah.
he shows his reaction. It's fucking the best. It's absolutely the best. I've been watching this show called Love on the Spectrum, and it's about people who are on the autism spectrum
Mhm.
finding love and stuff. And Kevin walks by because I was watching it the other day in the kitchen. He's like, "Are they talking about Greenville, South Carolina?" One of the girls on the show is from It lives in Greenville, South Carolina. And I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool."
Oh, was it? Yeah.
Yeah.
We get a lot of
Wanna-
Greenville, North Carolina mix-ups.
Yeah, no, this is Greenville, South Carolina. She lives
Very
in
cool.
Greenville. Yeah, and I was like, "Oh, she's on this show."
There you go. Shout out to the upstate.
Yeah. Funny.
Yeah, we were. This weekend was that we were just putting Wyatt's bedroom together
Oh,
today.
nice.
So, and then I go into Emma's room and open up her closet, and then there's this metal box, and it was recessed into the wall, and it kind of looks like a circuit breaker box, but then it almost kind of reminded me of those boxes that have like the keys in them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Does it open?
Jen's like trying to open it. She's got her gloves on, so it's like So then I freaking hit it, and then the freaking metal box just falls out and hits me on the fucking foot.
Damn.
And it was just the frame and a door that you just you pressed on it and it opened up,
Okay.
and then it was like all this insulation. I'm like,
That's
the
weird.
shit. And here it was, and then I remembered, I was like, well, the shower is back there, so it was just an access panel.
Oh, we have that in one of our closets. Yeah.
in
But I've
Wyatt's
never
closet.
seen an access panel like this.
Yeah,
It was
like,
odd.
weird. That is odd.
So I'm like, all right. So I'm like, all I got to do is just kind of slide this in. It wasn't affixed anything, it wasn't glued. So I'm like, fucking trying to, I'm like, okay, this was in here.
Yeah.
Now it's not. And now it won't fit in. I was like, oh, there, I got it to fit in. And I went tick, 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 tick. And then all of a sudden, boom, the bottom, it looked like there was either something that was broken that they tried to fix, but like a perfectly freaking rectangle at the bottom. I'm like, oh, you got to be shitting me. So now I got to go in. I got to find a way to kind of patch up that area, the drywall, and then at least have some sort of a normal access panel.
Yeah.
not this half-assed freaking car lot box freaking front.
that is very bizarre.
It was the oddest thing. I've never seen anything like.
Yeah, ours is like it's like just a piece of drywall, or actually it's a piece of wood.
Yeah, it's a piece of
and
wood.
then it's screwed, and then I framed around it, picture frame, just cut it. Yeah, and
all of them I've ever
to
seen
make
like
it
that.
look somewhat decorative, but then you just unscrew and poof.
Well, every access panel's like that. Because I remember I was in Pittsburgh years ago. A buddy of mine was like, "Hey man, we got this water damage in our ceiling, and we got it fixed. And I think it's coming from our jacuzzi tub. Can you come on over and take a look at it?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." So I'm like, all right, where they freaking built this house with no access panel to the jacuzzi tub.
A buddy of mine had the same thing on his jacuzzi tub. No access panel.
I said, "Here's what I got to do." I said, "I got to cut here. I'm going to cut out a square, rectangle, whatever." I said, "I got to make an access panel. You have to have one." So once this is done, we can frame it out. You put a piece of wood in there. I said, "It'll be fine." He's like, "Okay." I cut out an access panel, and I flashed a light in there. And I was like, "You bought this house brand new?" He goes, "Yeah, we had it built." I go, "They didn't tighten some of the fixtures in this jacuzzi tub." And he had the house at the time for 10 years. I said, "This drip was a 10-year drip." That literally the whole area was like it was encased in this crystallized patina. Like it was horrible looking. And the wood had all this mold all over it. And that's why I was, and Jen's always like, "Well, how long is that going to take you to do?" I'm like, "I don't know." "What do you mean you don't know?" I'm like, "Because most simple tasks, if I say this should take about an hour, ends up being like 3 days because he kept asking me, "How long is it going to take?" I'm like, "It shouldn't take very long." And, just clean it up and tighten up some things. I was in there the whole weekend.
Yeah.
Cutting out the freaking mold, freaking chipping away. And it literally was this drip because it wasn't tightened. That was over the course of 10 years. Eventually dripped on this drywall and ceiling and had it that soggy that it just fell in one day. But no access panel. Like you said, it's a jacuzzi tub.
Yeah.
How do you not have a freaking access tab? Especially for something like that, there would need to be an access panel because
my buddy, when his
shit moving around,
his was put in a corner and there was no access to anything. And then on his, he actually had to cut out the fiberglass fascia of the jacuzzi. He had nothing, because the way it was tucked in, there was nothing. I'm like, how'd they build this house? Who designed the house with no closet on one side, nothing?
Yeah,
and he actually had to cut out the actual, and it looked like shit afterwards. But I mean, the job was fixed.
I have to look for an access panel because we have a tub. It's not a jacuzzi.
How many bedrooms do you guys have?
4.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice.
4 bedrooms, and then we have 2 full baths upstairs, and then a half bath downstairs.
Oh, nice.
And our bathroom inside, the master bath, is really weird because it's like you walk in, it's really big. It's got this big freaking deep tub, which nobody uses. Jennifer doesn't take baths. She doesn't like sitting in a tub. She doesn't find it relaxing. And I'm just too fat. I'm not going to sit in there, right?
Only influencers find that relaxing, with the candles. And
I love taking baths.
I don't like sitting in my own filth.
Well, I'm sorry. How dirty are you when you go into a bathtub? It's not like you're coming home from work after working on cars and taking a bath. It's not like I go in there and I'm mud caked and everything and like, oh, let me take a bath. Like every once in a while, I like to put like the Epsom salt and like.
If I was to do that, I would need to take a shower first and then go into the bath.
I don't understand that.
I'm like Kevin, man, because you know what? It's like but it's like a natural reaction, at least in my body. When my body hits warm water, I gotta pee. So now I'm sitting in urine water.
Who's peeing in their bath?
I have to. It's
okay. Anyway,
it's the same. I don't have to pee until I turn the shower on. As soon as it hits me, that warm water, I'm like, all right, now I'm peeing. Why don't
you pee before you get in?
You don't have to.
I have to, and then
it's like your body, when that warm water hits your body, it's like literally, it's like this natural reaction. That's why I get in the tub. It's like bloop.
I don't know. I just pee before I go, or I wait until I'm done and get out.
So I told Jennifer eventually we could, if you take the tub out, maybe make that a big shower area.
Yeah.
Sit with a chair because she's like, because the stand-up shower I like, because I don't like. I personally in a shower, if I have too much room in a shower, I feel odd. I like being closed in. I like being showered, just enough room to shower.
Nope.
And Jen's like, how am I supposed to shave my legs? I'm like, I don't know. I don't shave my legs. I can't. That's not my problem.
I've been in some like really nice hotels where like to get from one end of the shower to the other, you got to take like 3 steps.
Yeah.
And it's too much. It's like, why?
Yeah.
Why am I walking this distance?
I don't want to be in a tiny enclosed capsule.
I don't want to be tiny, but
no, I agree with Jed.
I want to be able to stand there and touch everything that I need.
Yeah.
I'm like,
exactly.
oh crap. My conditioner's over there. Let me put on my water shoes and walk to the other side of the shower.
I was in a hotel that did not have a shower door. They actually had a glass wall because it's that fucking long that you're not going to get water all over the place.
Yeah.
Because you have to go in and go, okay, I'm going to walk down this hallway.
They call them walk-in showers.
Yeah, my shower is at the end of this hallway. And then it's like you're going to walk down.
It's so dramatic.
It is though.
First off, women like there's lots of people who like that spa type of where you can have the different shower heads, steam.
I had a buddy of mine built in his it had been $1 million house in the middle of his bathroom. I mean, he probably had to have. I mean, the bathroom was every bit as big as our bedroom. It had to have been a 400 square foot bathroom. There were no curtains or shower door. There was no walls. Like the water pipe came down and it had like this fixture, so it was these rain heads.
Yeah,
you just walked into the middle of the room and turned the water on, and the room was so big it didn't splash everywhere, so you just showered in the middle of a room.
Sounds like a locker room.
Almost like a locker room, but instead of like said it coming down, the water came from the ceiling.
There a toilet? Is there?
Yeah. But the toilet was probably 15 feet away,
and that wasn't enclosed.
No, everything was like open.
That's a lot of space. That's too much space.
It was weird, but yeah, you just stood in the middle of the room.
Sounds like a nudist colony freaking bathroom.
That's what it was. And who was the actress? Demi Moore, when she posted a picture of her bathroom. Her bathroom's carpeted.
What?
Yeah, it has like a lounge chair and stuff in it. And it looked like a pretty big bathroom, like a couple 100 square feet, but it still had carpet.
Demi Moore. Yeah, listen, I go in the shower. I'm there for one reason.
Yeah.
To get clean. I don't take long showers. I'm in the shower. If I'm in the shower longer than 10 minutes, there's a problem. It's because you come check on me. Because I'm either dead or I've fallen and I can't get up.
Oh my God.
I am in a shower between 5 and 10 minutes. I get in, get wet, soap up, scrub up. Boom, boom, boom. I'm in, I'm out. I don't want to steam. Yeah. I don't want freaking rainfall. I don't want a massage on my back. I don't want a freaking handle washing off the undercarriage. I just want to get in, get clean, and get out.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
You're missing out.
That's me. In and out.
It.
I don't want to be in there any longer than I have to. Do the job.
Listen, when I get FU money, and I can have a big jacuzzi tub and sit there and smoke a cigar and have a drink, then maybe I'll sit in the tub. Other than that, there's no reason to. Because I'll just pee. I'll be like, I peed in my tub.
Yeah. Ashing in my tub, peeing in the tub.
Like Tony Montana.
What do you do right after a bath? I take a shower because it's disgusting.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
That's why.
Okay, first off, that's really kind of, okay, you may think that, but it is kind of rude because there's things that other people can say that you do that might be considered disgusting. But people who like baths aren't disgusting people.
I'm not saying they are.
Yes, you are. You're saying it's disgusting that you're sitting in your own filth. That's what Kevin just said.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he says.
I said I don't want to sit in my own filth. I didn't say.
What makes you think that that's what people are doing when they take a bath? It's not your own filth. How dirty do you have to be to be in your own filth?
You have to be.
What are you doing?
You have to be, because I understand what Kevin's saying. He's not saying.
Of course, because you guys are fucking in cahoots with each other all the time.
He's not saying you're disgusting for taking a bath. It's just in his opinion and in mine, taking a bath just seems disgusting because it doesn't matter if you didn't take a shower 5 days ago, or you were all sweaty and oily and dirty, or if you took a shower the next day, it is still the body oils and the filth that you are in that tub, and that is now in the water that you are sitting in. It's not washing off you down a drain into a tube. It is around you.
Yeah. Well, what if you had like a little poop or something and soaking like
that's
loosened
my point
it?
is that you are a disgusting person. So yes, your bath would be disgusting. You are filthy. No wonder you need a shower. You need a spray handle. You need a bidet. You need all kinds of wipes going on here, Kevin.
I want to be able to scrub.
What the fuck is happening?
They don't make a bidet.
What the fuck is happening?
Because they don't. I've seen like bidets and like it's a very light stream. Like I need a pressure washer.
First off, the fact that you just said that.
A bidet looks like a water fountain. Like, what am I giving my asshole a drink? No.
Yeah. What am I doing there? Yeah, I need some pressure. Like when you hold that hose and just
exactly.
Like,
I'm done. I'm done with the two.
I need
whatever.
I need some pressure.
There's plenty of people on this planet that are for baths, so whatever.
Listen, God love you.
You can take your dingleberry ass and never take a bath. Do that.
That's why I'm going to shower before I would take a bath, because I realize that there is a lot going on here that needs to be taken care of before I would sit in water and then be like 20 minutes later going, oh boy, I'm glad I took that leak. I wonder how much of this urine to water percentage.
You guys keep talking
what is
about
the proper water to urine ratio to where?
Listen, if I can understand like you guys peeing in the shower, like especially if you have foot fungus, isn't it male pee that gets rid of foot fungus or something?
Yeah,
I think that's I think I read that somewhere where they were saying something. Like to pee on it or something.
I've had athlete's foot once in my life. That was it.
Yeah,
I've never had athlete's feet. No matter,
I've never had it either.
Yeah, I had to get a prescription one time, and that was actually right after when we stayed in the motorhome with your parents.
What?
I wore my socks and shoes for like 2 days.
Oh, that's right. He wouldn't take them off.
Yeah, I don't want to shower in something smaller than a porta-john. So yeah, I wore
Mind you, we are at Fort Wilderness in Disney World. There is a literal huge
it wasn't
camping
Fort Wilderness because we didn't stay with your parents. We
had
our own
we
cabin.
did.
We had our own cabin in there.
What are you talking about? Was that with me?
Yeah, we had.
No, they couldn't have been.
Yeah, when we went for Dominic's birthday, we had our own cabin.
No,
didn't we? Do we stay with your parents?
We stayed with my.
Val
parents.
and Mike had their own cabin. Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah. So yeah.
Anyway, first off, they have a huge bathroom facility at Fort Wilderness. You don't have to use your camper. You are just not a camping.
Going into
nothing screams cleanliness like a campground bathroom.
I was just going to say,
Disney World. Are you fucking kidding me? No, Kevin does not get to talk shit about this. He does not. He is not a woodsy. You don't get to talk shit about fucking Fort Wilderness. Disney World. I will not allow it.
So when I think of woodsy, I'm thinking I'm not going to shower, but I have been to campgrounds where it's like, hey, there's a campground with a shower. I'm like, that must be nice for you, but for me,
Listen,
so I got
first of all, Fort Wilderness campground is amazing, fucking amazing. I don't care what Kevin is saying. If you have not been there, it's fucking amazing.
I take your word on that.
It's awesome. So Kevin is just a bougie ass little bitch who wouldn't take his goddamn shoes off and be comfortable and be like a normal person.
Did you have shower shoes?
I did not.
We weren't
going. You chose wisely.
Well, no, it wasn't even about that. I'm just saying, like he's like very strange about. He still will wear socks and shoes all day. Like he'll never take his shoes off or his socks until he's about to get in the shower and go to bed. He has to have them on as soon as he wakes up in the morning.
Time. Yeah,
I got to tell you, and I'm not saying this just to be.
Oh no, go ahead, take side, Kevin. It's okay. I'm used to it. Doesn't matter what I say. Karen and Kevin are like that.
I'm weird like that in a bit too, because we'll be sitting there at night and Jen will have her shoes off. She's had them off all night, walk through the house with her socks, and I'm still there with my sneakers. I don't know what it is. I've gotten better with it. I do take my shoes off more often now, but when everyone's getting comfy with their shoes off and getting ready to watch a movie, I'll still have my sneakers on.
I don't understand it.
I don't know why that is. I honestly don't. I know as a kid, even growing up, it was like, hey, take your shoes off. You're in the house. It was like, no. I always felt weird when people say take your shoes off.
God, I lived running around outside honestly, barefoot.
Well, that's different though. But it's like when I won't make people take their shoes off when they come in my house because I'd rather deal with what's on the bottom of your shoes than what your fucking foot and sock has on it. Because I don't know how fucking bad your feet stink. And those shoes would be freaking protecting me from that nastiness.
Oh my God, that's people visiting. I get that. But when you're just in the comfort of your own home,
I still do the same thing too.
I don't get it. You and Kevin, you're like
now
peas in a pod.
I want I have slip-ons, right? And I will wear them. And if I start off wearing them, I will probably be in them for most of the day, and it's cool. Mm-hmm. But when I wake up and I put on socks and sneakers, they are on my feet, generally speaking, until I go to bed.
Yep. What are you doing?
Ronnie messaged me, but I agree. Until I agree. I want shoes and socks on all, and it's to be prepared. It's like the same thing. Like now my knee injury, so I'm going to bed almost fully clothed. I got to be just in case something happens. You got to be ready for action. She's going to go outside and like be stepping in a rock. I'm like, and I'll be like, just cruising in my shoes.
It's the reason why you learn your lesson in the first Die Hard when Bruce Willis always keeps his shoes on and listens to his wife to take them off and rub his toes in the freaking carpet. And then the freaking terrorist attack. And then he's walking through glass with freaking barefoot.
That's fine. You guys can be uncomfortable as fuck for the rest of your lives. I'm okay. Going to sleep with shoes on is not comfortable.
I never said I was going to sleep.
Yeah, but you make it seem like you're going to sleep with your shoes on. You're not going to sleep with your shoes on.
You wear
my shoes are right there.
No, no, they're not. Your shoes are over by the closet, which isn't that close to the bed.
It's close enough. I can hop up, slide my shoes on, and run
mine are next to the bed. You don't think I could slip some shoes on my feet? You think I'm dumb?
No.
Like I'm not going to put shoes on my feet if I had to run out of the house. And if I did it, oh well, I'm barefoot. Fuck it. Like you overthink shit, Sheldon, to another level.
I don't know.
Whatever.
I get it though.
All I'm saying is Fort Wilderness Campground is not a disgusting place, and Kevin
I didn't say it was. I'm just saying
got what he deserved for not taking his goddamn shoes off.
I can't see taking a freaking shower in the general shower facility of the campground.
Yeah, but when you
without shower shoes.
Well, that's why I get that. I understand that. I understand that.
Well,
but my parents have a very nice camper. It is not like some 1970s camper. It's a beautiful camper. They have a fucking bathroom, a shower, everything. No, not going to do that. Come on. All right. I'm done. I am done. My back hurts. I don't want to listen anymore.
It's a bathroom in a camper. It's nice, but it's 2 feet by 2 feet,
no,
and the water is like peeing. Someone peeing on you to rinse off.
That is so much bullshit. How would you know? You didn't take a shower.
Because I will tell you this is the other weird thing I have about showers is the water pressure.
Yeah.
If it's really, really horrible, weak water pressure, I'm like, why? I'm not.
Yeah. That happens in almost every hotel.
No.
Every hotel. Yeah, for me, I have really thick hair. Try shampooing very long, thick hair with shitty water pressure at a hotel. It sucks.
It's horrible. I've actually switched rooms because of water pressure.
Yeah, I believe that.
I hate poor water pressure.
But Kevin can't talk about water pressure in the trailer since he doesn't know. Since he didn't take a shower, he's just speculating. He's just talking out of his ass because he has no fucking clue because he's never done it.
Our place we lived in Taylor's, when we first moved there, they had this big, beautiful freaking shower head that basically was like having freaking 12 midgets pee on you.
Yeah.
Because it was that freaking weak. And I freaking took it off and I went to freaking like Home Depot and I bought like the freaking $2 high volume, no governor. Pop that bit, and that was our shower head because
you got to pull out that plastic water reducer.
Yep.
You know, there's also the ones that feel like they're gonna cut your skin.
Yeah.
That like come out so rough and hard, and you're
I
like,
love that.
Yeah.
I
you're
love
like,
that.
like you
That
feel
feels
like
good. That's relaxing. I love it because I don't like that low water pressure. Here we got great water pressure, thank God. But low water pressure, it's just I won't shower. I'm like, listen, I'll take a wash rag, I'll wash my face off, wash my hands, wipe off the nuts, do what I got to do. But I just won't do low water pressure. I hate it.
I can't even.
They have a whole Seinfeld episode on that.
Yeah.
Listen, where'd Jen go?
She had a work call.
Oh, okay. Well, my back is killing me.
All
I'm
right.
calling
Well, here,
in. I'm gonna let you two.
All right.
We got to do our
finish
outro.
talking.
You got to sign off.
Oh, okay. I was gonna let you
All
guys continue to talk about your weird shit.
And on that note, I'm Bully Kevin.
I'm Bully Jess.
I'm Bully Kerr. I'm Bully Jen. And remember,
Bullies
make
good
friends.
friends.
From Kev, Jess, Kerr, and Jen, we are the Broadleaf Bullies. Thank you for joining us, and remember, bullies make good friends.